Welcome back to another episode. I am your host, John. With me are my co-hosts, Kyler
Yo,
and Jacob.
What's up?
nothing
Today
much.
we're going to be talking about Secret Invasion, episodes 1 to 3 for that mid-season recap. Does anyone want to start off? I want to take it away.
Nah.
Right.
Yeah, what have you got for us, John?
So, episodes 1. Okay, let's start off with how do we feel about the series so far?
I
And
am enjoying the series so far. I like kind of the spy, espionage kind of feel to the show. Not a lot of like humor, feel good, and not to say that I don't like that, but I like the change of pace from what we're getting, with She-Hulk and Miss Marvel.
it's not ridiculous.
Yeah, and I've just been enjoying, and I think my main hope going forward is that they don't take away too much from past events by revealing certain characters as Skrulls. I kind of hope that we get an explanation going forward on exactly when it happened, because I don't want to keep reading theories about what if this character's been for so long. So that's how I'm feeling.
That's actually, to latch onto that real quick. That's actually been my I wouldn't say I guess I will. I'll say that's been my biggest negative of the Skrulls idea, is that they'll just be like, haha, this guy was a Skrull the entire time, and it kind of, to me, it would kind of ruin, depending on the character, what they've done.
Yeah, and I
At
think,
least to me.
I think that's my hope, is that we kind of do get an explanation, and it doesn't make us be like, wow, that moment in X movie was not significant anymore.
Yeah, that's been my whole biggest concern with the Skrulls, is just negating everything someone has done. But I will say overall, I kind of agree with your points. It's been, the humor has been, let's say, tame in the fact that it's not like every other line. It feels pretty natural, I'd say. And so far, the series, I've enjoyed it. It's weird to say that it's grounded, but I feel like it's kind of grounded even though you're dealing with aliens. And I kind of do like the route they've taken with Nick Fury, in the terms that he's dealing with first the blip, or getting turned to dust, and then coming back from the blip, and clearly he hasn't dealt with that trauma yet.
Yeah, and we're getting to see
And that's
that.
kind of the whole series seems like a whole ramification of him just deciding to be like, all right, peace, I don't want to deal with this, let me go do something else, and coming back and oh, I have to face my consequences now.
Yeah, I like that.
What about you, Kyler?
I mean, I'm liking it so far. I think there's some cool stuff in it. I don't really have much else to say other than that, to be honest.
Thrilling
I-
insight.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I was wondering why we're recording this. I don't know if just this show or not, just the way it scrolls and anything can happen and anything can be literally anything can happen. So I don't know where it's going, but I'm liking it, I guess.
It's not a Loki for you, where you absolutely hated it?
No.
What?
Not yet. There's obvious.
Loki's the best Marvel show, guys. So
Wait, that's what we should talk about. Let's turn this into a Loki
Oh my
hate
God.
podcast. I can say a lot about that.
Honestly, if you wanted to, this is off topic, but I mean, we could do a Loki hate Well, for you, because I thought Loki was fine.
I think we should do a Loki podcast, but we should rewatch season 1.
We should do it before season 2.
Right before season 2, yeah.
I don't want to watch it again. I've seen it 3 times. I know my thoughts on that. Actually,
well, I will need to rewatch it, so...
Did you rewatch it because you were like, I need to know if I truly like it or if I don't like it?
I watched it once on my own. I've watched part of it again. I watched it again with my dad, and that's when I was like, yeah, this is...
that makes sense.
I 100% confirming everything I thought about it.
I hate... we're not turning this into a Loki podcast.
Yeah, I do have a lot of... I don't know. I see a bunch of different directions they can go with Secret Invasion, but could just talk forever about that. I feel like I'd get lost in a train of thought. But one thing I did just think of that I think would be cool is if Loki was a Skrull.
Oh my gosh.
I think that'd be cool. And also, I guess this is something to say. I'm just spitballing here. But you guys were talking about how you don't want people to be revealed as Skrulls because it undoes moments and character developments and stuff, and I'm like on the complete opposite side of that. I don't think it changes much.
So can I just jump in to clarify what exactly I mean, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm okay with like Skrull reveals, but like I want them to at least show us, or somehow we need to know like when it happened, because like. Mm-hmm. If it's just like, oh, they're a Skrull and we don't know how long for it, like, I just don't want to see those theories of like, well, X movie changes because of this. Like, I'm okay with the reveal. I just want to know, like, when it happened.
Are you saying you don't want people to speculate and talk about it and complain?
That's one big thing. And a second, like,
because I can see what you're saying about that.
If we don't know, like, I don't know, I feel like I would just be irritated and be like, all right, I don't even know if we've said this yet, but spoilers ahead for episodes 1 through 3. I don't know if we said that.
No, I also didn't say the last episode, but I did put it in the title or in the description.
So spoilers ahead here, but the end of episode 3, I think is almost guaranteeing that Rhodey is a Skrull. So like I don't want like specific moments in like Infinity War and Endgame. I think that takes away a lot of like his character interactions with Iron Man and other characters by saying like, oh, it was a Skrull. And then it's like, well, that kind of, will make me not, that'll make me think differently when I watch the movie.
Changes anything about. I mean, yeah, I would think of differently after the fact, but I don't think it changes anything.
Like, why would a Skrull pretend, like, I guess, like, because they have to keep their cover, but, like, thinking specifically of, like, when Iron Man dies, like, that's a huge moment between Iron Man and Rhodey, like, and if they were to be like, oh, that was a Skrull, I'd be like, well, fuck, okay.
Well, I would even say sooner, I'll even say sooner is, like, if Rhodey's a Skrull in Civil War, I feel like that kind of makes his, that almost make Tony's reaction to when he becomes paralyzed kind of, I don't know, to me, like, lessens it because it's not actually his buddy, it's a Skrull.
That doesn't lessen it.
I think
he still thinks it's a person or his friend.
Yeah, the
that's like
argument
saying anything you've experienced with me or Jacob would like not feel the same in that moment if you learned we were a Skrull, or if we were a Skrull other ways, or a different person, whatever. Like,
you don't think so? Let's say, like,
nah.
I think it. Well, okay, well, Iron Man's dead, so, but like, imagine if he was alive and found that out. It's like, I feel like it would make an impact. It's like, you're not actually the Rhodey that I was friends with.
I mean, it changes, but like those emotions, everything that's already happened still has happened, and it's
I guess
it's not changing.
I do agree, like they
much.
did happen and they were real, but like I'm just on the side that like it takes away from it, like in my mind. Like maybe that's like just a personal thing where I'd be like,
then,
yeah,
I can see a lot of people thinking that too.
Yeah,
but I feel like it.
I do hope. Go ahead.
I had something else to say. I forgot what it was, but I was gonna say I feel like it doesn't change the past, but it can change the future of like the story moving forward.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That's
But,
Very.
like, I think my biggest concern with Skrulls, and I know it's a comic book movie, but is if like they bring back someone that died. That would probably I wouldn't like.
yeah,
I don't
bringing
know, 'cause
back
then that
someone's a
cheap-
completely
Yeah.
different can of
Like, not that
worms.
I don't think it'd be possible because you know how they kind of shown how they get all their memories and stuff
okay, yeah.
as they out.
I
have
don't
to
think.
have them
Okay, so
captured.
this is a question I've had. Let me stop you right there.
Let's stop.
That's
right
to like. I feel like that's to impersonate someone and be like a deep undercover Skrull, like these government positions and possibly Rhodey and stuff.
Yeah.
But we saw in Captain Marvel that they can literally just shapeshift in line of sight.
Yeah. I think it's almost like two
Right.
separate abilities where like
Yeah.
one is like, oh, I've seen what you look like, I can replicate that. And then another ability is like, well, if I have access to your like mind or memories and like I can make
You can
contact,
be that
like
person,
now I
like,
can gain your
actually.
memories as well.
Yeah. So
Yes,
like you could bring back, like say,
okay.
bringing back people. You could bring back Iron Man and
If
look
they
like
had Tony's
Iron Man,
body.
but if you like have a conversation with someone or like get to questioning them down, like trying to figure out if this is a Skrull or not, they'll crack because they don't have his memories, right?
Okay, see, but I still, I see that it's two different things.
That's just something I had like in the
I
back of my mind because I'm like, they've established this before.
Well,
but-
because I would expect them like, okay, they can't. I mean, they can shapeshift into one of the Avengers, but obviously they wouldn't have the powers so far.
So far.
Mhm.
But like, I was thinking like, see, I was in my head, but now I can see that doesn't work because everybody knows she's dead. Is Black Widow,
Yeah,
or-
she dead.
Or is she dead?
is she dead to the public? Maybe not.
I think so. I feel like the public would know.
Or was she a
Yeah,
Skrull?
I guess my.
And
don't-
she's in
yeah,
Russia.
okay, never mind then.
And she's behind the actual Red Room, or whatever it was called.
The Red Room. Oh my
For
god.
Black Widow 2.
I think it was the red.
Put your
was it?
tinfoil hats on, everyone.
I
And
think
yes,
so.
it was the
You should
Red
watch
Room.
it. Yeah.
All right. Well, so since we are jumping over the place, we don't have to go in like, oh, what happened? Like, let's talk about episode 1. Let's talk about 2, 3. I will say, I don't know if this is a disappointment, but I kind of don't like that Maria Hill just gets got
Gets
in episode
Gets
1.
got right away.
I
did
was like,
she, though?
Did she? Though?
See, I was also thinking the same thing. Like, you don't see her die. Like, well, actually, you do, but I think she did a lot. Unless you expect him to pull like what Fury does, where he's dead every other time.
So
Secretly,
I guess like here's the question: like if she's not dead, like what is the long-term play of faking her funeral to like her family members and all that? Like, what's the long-term play and the need to do that if she's still alive?
I don't know.
'Cause
Fury
I-
knows probably.
I feel like that.
I don't see a long-term play. I think she's dead. That's just my like gut feeling right now.
I
don't think she did.
think she's dead because we do see her die. Well, for the most part, she dies.
We also see, to tie this kind of in a nice little bow tie, we see, I forgot her name, the daughter die.
Gaia.
I don't think she's dead.
So what's the difference?
Well,
She's a
the
Skrull.
difference was there was a long shot on Maria Hill,
Mhm.
and the difference with Gaia,
That's her name.
Emily Clark's character is Amelia Clark, not Emily. Is it's kind of like a quick like she got shot and then morphed, but we don't actually like see her just be there for like 20 seconds or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I don't know,
think
maybe I'm thinking too much.
I think we're all thinking too much, and they've been very, very conscious in the way they've been showing deaths
Okay.
on screen. Actually,
so that
because who else? I know there's been at least 2 deaths on screen. One of them was in the
2
car.
main.
Those are the those are the
autofocus
2
episode.
main ones, though, is Maria and Gaia.
Yeah, but if you're thinking about
Wait,
all
oh,
the
you
other
mean- you
deaths
mean
and
the
how they're
Skrull
showing
in the
Skrulls
car?
dying and humans dying, yeah, we took the Skrull out of the car, he gets shot in the foreground. They don't really show what happens when he dies. They're like
When he
purposely
dies,
not
you think?
showing us what is happening to keep it all secret and let us know
Okay.
what's happening.
All right.
So I think anything can happen.
That's true.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, anything could happen.
I guess we'll find out in episode 4 if she actually. Well, maybe in 4 if she actually died, but I don't know. To me, it seems such a like. Maybe it's because it's such. It's a 6 episode series that I'm like, she can't be dead. We just got introduced to her.
Yeah.
But then that would also kind of apply to Maria Hill if we're using that. If I'm using that logic.
I mean, focusing
I
on
don't-
Gaia, I don't think she's dead because, I mean, she could have took some
'Cause
Super Skrull
that's too-
serum beforehand. She could have a bulletproof vest on, and that's
Yeah.
why she didn't want to turn around. She purposely shaping into a Skrull and being true. She got a strategy.
I think if you look at the logistics, you don't hire Amelia Clark to do 3 episodes.
Yeah. If you're looking at it.
Also,
from
you know,
that
I'm about to
point of view,
pull up the credits right now. I want to say one thing I did really like about the first episode and Maria Hill dying is she dies, and the first thing you see on screen after that is guest star.
She bet,
Her
yeah.
name.
Yes.
It's like that was good. It's like
yeah.
let's just sit there.
And you're like,
Swallow it.
oh no.
Yeah. It's like did they
See,
do
but
that?
Yeah.
See, all right, that's part of the reason, like, where I think that could add to the argument of, like, I mean, if they're doing that as misdirection, good for them. But to me, it's like, this is only 6 episodes, and, like, she is the closest character to Fury that we knew of before the series. Like, what would hurt him the most is that. And I feel like that was setting the table, being like, these are the stakes, this is how serious it is. You know, this is how bad they want to hurt Fury.
True. I'm looking through just gonna get
Because Martin
nitpicky here.
Freeman was also a special guest star. That
Yeah, they
episode.
had so Martin Freeman
yeah, he
and
was.
I can't think what's Maria Hill's actress's name?
Colby
Colby
Smulders.
Colby Smulders.
Yeah, so they were both listed as guest stars episode 1.
Yeah.
Episode 2 had Colby. Episode 3 has none.
No guest stars, yeah, so.
And if we're just
But I mean,
doing like per episode appearances, Amelia Clark's only been in 1 more episode than Colby Smulders. So I think that's also some evidence that she's not dead.
Yeah, I don't
Playing
I
with
don't
the
think
tools they're
she's
showing.
either, but
Colby was in 2?
I don't think
Yeah, she was at the
technically...
It said special. I think
The episode starts with her funeral, I believe.
yeah, and like a little
So,
scene
like,
of her
I think-
dying.
I think-
too. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure she had her
Yeah.
name in the credits again.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think they re-show.
And then
her
they have a
laying on the
flashback
ground.
or something in that episode too.
Not that I'm
the combo.
remembering, but possible.
No, I don't remember. So,
I got something to talk about if we need something to talk about.
what?
Episode 2 fight scene. And kind of the grittiness of that episode was sick.
The grittiness.
Yeah, it does say special guest Colby Smulders in episode 2. I'm confirming right now.
What's the fight scene in
The
episode
meat
2?
locker fight scene.
Oh.
Throws a man up on a hook. They're being all tactical and shooting dudes, cutting fingers off.
Oh.
I think it was fitting because it was in the butcher shop, so.
Yeah, they got butchered up.
Gotta butcher them up.
That
No,
was
yeah, I
shot
enjoyed
well.
that. I enjoyed that.
Do you enjoy the opening AI credits?
Okay.
I mean, I'm
was
in.
wondering
I have
if you
thoughts
were
about
gonna-
that.
Okay, I'm gonna say I didn't realize it was AI, and I'm like, oh, this is a cool. I understand. Okay, ignoring the controversy of the AI stuff and like the ramifications of that, I thought it was a pretty interesting intro because the whole. I only saw it once because I don't feel like watching intros over and over, but I thought it was cool that everything it was essentially like turning
Yeah.
Skrullish.
Yeah.
Faceless.
But finding out that it was AI, I was like, oh, is that why it looks a certain way?
That is why it looks a certain way.
But I totally thought it was like someone did it.
Someone did do it.
So I get the whole issues with AI, but
All
to
right.
me,
Do you, though?
I thought it was...
Do you get the issues with AI?
Yeah. Because, I mean, the biggest issue is like, well, if you can replace someone to do that, eventually you can replace like, I mean, right now, what everyone's just like, oh, everybody's job is going to be taken by AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true at the moment, but so I understand the issue is like somebody could have done that and gotten paid, but instead they went with the AI, meaning that a person or people lost a
That
job
is
opportunity
false.
on that. But that's no, I'm saying that's
the narrative, yes, which is
of what
100%
people are...
false in this scenario. And it pisses me off
okay,
that that
'cause
was a
that's what
whole
I was
controversy
not-
when it popped out, because people are idiots just trying to use buzzwords and to get clicks and stuff.
You tell them.
Yeah, no, I was just regurgitating
I think you did a good job
the narrative.
of summarizing that narrative that people have.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? Because you sound very enthusiastic.
Nah, it just beefs me off how people just be using buzzwords and stuff and trying to hate on AI, where like this, like you were saying, this AI, it serves a purpose to give them the faceless, scrollless look. It's being used in a strategic way, and the way, I mean, if you want to get into like technicals about AI and smart, I think AI is being overused. It's a whole difference between AI and machine learning and stuff, especially when you get into film editing and all that stuff. But this is more like deepfake. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. How you just train an image off sequence. You're doing the same thing with this. There's artists. I looked at the credits and stuff. Artists have done specific drawings for this. There's no one losing jobs here. They're making art. They're using this AI as a tool to give it this certain look. It's not like they're pressing generate to, steal people's jobs. And a lot of people think...
See, that makes sense. Because I saw the intro the first time and I was like, oh, this is... I like what they did. I like that everything is slowly getting morphed into... Well, it's green, but like, to symbolize Skrulls. So I did like that. And then when I saw there it was like AI, I was like, oh, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And you're familiar with like keyframes and editing and stuff like now. It's essentially kind of like setting a keyframe here, setting a keyframe there, and pressing render. And if you want to get in the nitty gritty, is that considered AI when you're having your computer interpolate all the different frames in between? Because you know how long this would take to do by hand? Like people are wanting to happen. Some of these tweets I've read.
Yeah.
It's going to come out in 21, 22.
And it's not cost effective, obviously, because you're paying someone full time to do it versus just like something generates it off of another person's work that was hired to do a specific set of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of general opinion stuff just
okay.
keeps irritating me over and over again, which is why we should do a low-key podcast. I think I got to mention this every podcast now.
The internet irritates you?
Especially the last couple years, yes.
The internet is like it's just a giant place to everyone go complain, and yeah.
Okay, so villain, Gravik, right?
Yes.
Gravik, something.
How do I actually like him. I will say so he already has this the Super Skrull thing, right? That's kind of what
He's got the
episode 3
the
confirmed.
Extremis, from Iron Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
So does he just have that, or does he have like?
I mean, that's all they've shown.
That's a good question.
But
because I kind of feel like that just means he has
all of it,
the serum, and they just couldn't mass develop it yet.
Well, if I'm correct, didn't when he was showing the other council members, isn't it like a radiation chamber almost, where like it To me, it looked like it was implied that they like stand in it and it blasts them with whatever radiation,
all the gamma rays,
something.
Yeah,
and then they get the powers. That's what it looked like to me, not a serum necessarily.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but he's probably gone through it already.
Who knows?
Yeah, I'm assuming he's gone through it.
Because that's immediately what I thought, but then thinking back, I'm like, then why are they still like in episode 2, I think? Clearly the scientist is like frustrated with stuff.
She don't got a.
But actually, now that I think about it, I think she was mentioning like more like materials and stuff. So maybe they're like
maybe to mass produce.
they had enough for one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And to tie it
I
back,
do feel. Oh, go ahead.
to tie it back to something we were talking about earlier, from a narrative storytelling point of view here, it's what's the word? Very convenient that they show Gravik healing himself in the same episode where one of our main characters gets shot and could have potentially gotten some.
Guys.
Yeah, and it is very possible that she would have been like second to get the if there was limited amounts of like
Second
dosages,
or to steal it.
She was probably within like the top 5 to like.
She was on the list.
Yeah, she was on the list for sure.
I would.
Because I wouldn't say second. Because he clearly doesn't trust her because she's the daughter of Talos.
Yeah, that is also true though.
I would argue that she wasn't on the list at all.
But
because if she was,
did it herself.
Yeah, she stole it and did it herself
Yeah.
to stay alive. Because if she was on a list and Gravik knew she had some regeneration power or something like that, he would have shot her a whole lot more times or something.
Yeah.
Would have chopped her head off.
Yeah, or however you'd kill Super Skrull.
Yeah, I think because I mean, episode 2, she's distant from what I would call his second hand, or second in command, not second hand. Where she's like on the outside, and I mean they keep bringing her on missions, but I wonder if it was
just to keep an eye on her and see if she was
double crossing, keep your enemies close type
she
thing.
Was.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. So I'm not sold. I don't know if because I don't feel like they're gonna be like. Obviously, this can go anywhere, but I feel like they'll limit Super Skrulls to just one. And I almost feel like for the story, at least where we're at now, I feel like it shouldn't be Gravik. But then again, that just might be me.
Who would it be?
Yeah. I don't know.
I just some no-name Skrulls.
Just some random dude, maybe. Yeah. I guess Gravik makes more sense because he's the
boss.
Only one we have real backstory.
I think,
sort of.
Looking in the future and what they've done so far, Gravik is a choice, but maybe not if they have future plans for something like that. Rhodey also could be a contender, especially with the next like episode and a half, depending on what they do with that. Because you'd expect them to have a suit to go carpet bomb something, but if
he
this gives him other stuff
with his hands this time.
Yeah,
if he's got some firepower.
Otherwise, you could do Fury. No, Fury's a no. I don't think there's anyone else who would really fit the bill.
Yeah, I think the only possible Super Skrulls we'll see are Gravik, Rhodey, and Gaia. Like, I don't feel like the other ones have been built up enough, unless they do a bunch of them, and then like all those side ones, sure.
Yeah.
But if they're doing a limited amount, like those are probably the 3.
I think at least one of them, but I wouldn't even say all 3. Well, maybe Gaia, but I don't know about Rhodey. I don't know. It just seems almost like OP to have more than one Super Skrull.
Yeah, especially when Fury is refusing to call in the Avengers.
Especially when this is a TV show, they don't got no Avengers budget.
True. Although I'd argue that Samuel L. Jackson is high budget.
It's even more so why they don't have.
Yeah.
All that money's going to
They're like, we could barely afford Maria Hill.
So do you think when they bring these actors and actresses in for these contracts that like if they've already like got plans for the TV show that like it's already just like included that like but you also have to do 6 episodes of this or 2 episodes of this, like
100%.
Because
you think it's included in the first
because
contract
for a TV budget, like these are like out after Samuel Jackson, you've got Amelia Clark, Kobe Smulders, like an episode of Martin Freeman. I want to say Taylor. What's his actor's name? I think it's Ben something, but
Ben
like those are all like
Kingsley,
those are all big
Ben
name
Mendelsohn?
actors. Like that's
and
a
notice
huge
how
budget.
this show is much more grounded, and really only effects you got going are shapeshifting.
Yeah.
I don't see unless they like count because you know how they would sign multi-picture deals.
Yeah.
Unless they count one, but I feel like they wouldn't waste it. I have a feeling they get the story and they're like, well, we can plug and play these characters and we'll go negotiate contract to be like, here's if you play this however many episodes is how much you'll get.
Yeah. I'm sure it's negotiated out when they're signing the movie deals. Yeah.
I almost even think it's not like it's afterwards.
I 100% don't think it's afterwards. I think they have amended with how many projects they're projected to be working on. And then if they need to make amendments or something, though, like if it runs out, that's when actors have negotiating powers and they demand. That's why you have this whole Tom Holland situation.
I forgot you can amend a contract.
Yeah.
Or like a Scarlett Johansson situation where she sued them and they're probably like, you know what? We're done with you.
We're done with you. Your character's dead.
And they've been getting like way more stricter with their contracts and royalties being paid out after the whole Robert Downey pay balloon stuff. So I think they're pretty conscious about what they're
they've learned.
doing.
They've learned from their mistakes.
Yeah.
So one thing we haven't touched on is Nick Fury's wife is a Skrull. I think that's an interesting.
That is an interesting
approach. Yeah, and obviously he knows. And I feel like that adds weight to what he's going through because clearly, except he's been killing every Skrull he sees except. I feel like he also doesn't obviously want them all to be killed, and he's got like a, what is it? Like he's got a reason to care that they don't all just either get died or like get captured, because his wife is one.
I
didn't see that coming at all.
I did not either.
But then again, we also didn't know he had a wife, so I mean.
So I actually did see, thanks to all the interneters, that he does mention he has a wife in Winter Soldier.
Oh, he does?
He tells Captain America that like his wife kicked him out or something, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were married." So thanks, Redditors, interneters,
crazy Twitterers.
Yeah,
I got
I know.
some theories to talk about. Like I said earlier, pretty much all I have to say is theories, but yeah, I can hold.
I was going to say, I did not expect her to be working with Gravik. I almost felt like she was going to be working with a third party or when she's getting the phone calls or texts. Or that one lady that said she wouldn't be part of the Gravik being in charge.
That's fair, but as soon as she said that like she was hurt when he was gone the first time because of the blip, but then he came back and then he left again. I felt like I was like, okay, I could see the pathway.
Well, yeah, because she also like said what I found myself or something.
So it didn't surprise surprise me too much, but I do see like your point that like maybe they could have been with other Skrulls and not Gravik.
Yeah. Okay, we could go into
all right, theory time, baby. Let's.
And this somewhat ties back into making existing people Skrulls and stuff. What if there are multiple Nick Furies? What if he intentionally has a Skrull clone of himself or multiple that he sends up to Saber? He's been on Earth possibly this entire time. Maybe he's up
Okay.
and bad. Maybe his
So,
wife
What if this
is
isn't even
exactly
the real
what if
Nick
it's a
Fury?
fake
So-
one? That maybe his wife hates him that he left, and she's been working with a fake Nick Fury and is playing with real Nick Fury's emotions to get something out of him.
Whoa.
It's like, who knows?
That's a theory.
Yeah, I think this goes back to me not liking the Skrull idea,
I
but
will go firm on the record that we've only seen one Nick Fury in the show, and I think it's the real Nick Fury.
But what
do
about
like
this?
that theory? Because that would be pretty mind bending.
Have you noticed his hats?
Oh, I have not been paying attention to his hats.
No.
Only
he
his
has
limp.
he has the fedora hat and like
Yeah.
it's two different hats. What if those? I was wondering,
that's
and
a
I've been wanting
sign?
to rewatch and kind of pay attention. But yeah, wondering if that's
Okay.
a storytelling device for
Interesting.
possible multiple
it
versions.
could be. It could be. We could see where that leads.
Because like even like the
Um,
old '90s Nick Fury doesn't wear a hat. I don't even know. Has he been hatless in modern day? Or yeah, he was on
Yeah.
the train, wasn't he?
He hasn't worn a.
That's when he was real.
Almost.
I think he's-
thought he was still wearing his beanie.
I
He,
think
like,
he's
took
been
it
wearing
on and
hats,
off.
man. Yeah, I think he's been wearing hats though in most scenes.
I feel like yeah. And I feel like he's like his
I-
personality has been very bipolar esque, which might
Be a
lead to
hint.
some. Yeah. I'm wondering if there's something there or not.
Yeah. I did
There's a. Chance.
I did think him snapping at Talos on the train was a little like out of character. Like just for like I don't feel like we've seen him like almost like attack somebody like in that manner when like he kind of like already knew. I don't know.
Well,
Something
okay,
to
so if we're
monitor.
gonna go down the Nick Fury is a Skrull, or there's more than one, he understands, it seems like, well, what we've been shown, which obviously could just be a diversion, but Nick Fury doesn't strike me as someone that would let a Skrull, even for a little, get into his mind to get some of his, to be able to impersonate him better. And like he has been rehashing the past with them, which makes me feel like it's the real Nick Fury. And I think why he blew up is he thought he had a small problem of only 1,000 Skrulls, and obviously it's 1,000 people that can shapeshift, but it's way more manageable than 1,000,000.
Yeah, but just I feel like the old Nick Fury that we knew like wasn't snapping, and like you could say, oh well, like this is the new post Blip.
That was turning into dust.
Yeah, this is the new post Blip Nick Fury, but
We've never seen post Blip before now in this series.
We've seen him.
I don't think.
So why I want to say is there's only one Nick, even though I mean they could obviously do more than one. Is the last time, which was it a post credits scene or like a mid credits where he's on Saber?
yeah, and Spider-Man, I believe.
So and they obviously show in Spider-Man it was the fake Nick Fury.
Talos.
So like they made the point to show him up in Saber and to come down. That's why I feel like it's just one. Like
I do also feel like
if he had
it's
just
him,
appeared,
but like the theory's
if he,
interesting.
yeah, the theory is it's in the back of my mind, but it's not something I'm like, oh, this is definitely gonna happen. It's like, I mean, they left the crumbs if you want to deep dive into like you were saying, using the hat as an example. But to me, like in my mind, even though I know it's probably like there's ways to make it work, to me it still goes back to like cheapening certain things if someone's a Skrull. But at the same time, it would be a Nick Fury play to have two of him walking around doing stuff.
That would be a Nick Fury play, but like thinking, I was thinking the only other Skrull that I feel like he would trust to play him would be Talos, and we've been seeing him throughout the series, so I don't think that he's the hypothetical second Nick Fury.
Yeah, no.
I just want to, like, this is totally just random. I'm just thinking now how, like, within the MCU, how many times Skrulls have tried to just, like, be someone. Like, Gravik or any of his goons ever just try to be Fury for a day and do stuff or whatever.
But get out.
It's like they're never, yeah, or just like, yo, I want to be Ant-Man for the day, trying to get a free
you're
coffee.
You're just a cosplayer.
Yeah, like.
I have a feeling they'd, well, that leads into like a giant rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's just like a curiosity question.
Because it almost seems like they will not impersonate someone. Well, first, they still want to be hidden. They don't want the public to know.
Mm-hmm.
It also seems like we've been deliberately shown that if they're going to impersonate someone, they have them captured so they can get like the whole
well, that's to like strategically impersonate someone.
Mentality, their whole mind.
The person. But that's to strategically impersonate someone. I'm talking about like some dude who just like is a Skrull, he doesn't care anymore. Yeah, he just wants to get a free coffee at the Ant-Man store or whatever. Like,
I mean,
I wouldn't mind seeing like a scene of that.
That's like a 5-minute short on, you know.
Mm-hmm. Or what if or something.
Like, yeah.
A Skrull's bad day. He just tries to keep pretending to be like Avengers.
Yeah.
It'll be like they'll do a celebrity cameo and it's really a Skrull.
Kevin Bacon's a Skrull.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting pretty far in, but I do have one question that I feel like I want to know the answer to. Maybe you guys know. So in the one episode, Gaia is running away with like the bombs in her backpack or whatever, and her dad's chasing her down, and like it's not until they start talking that they realize like who each other are.
Talking about like episode 1?
Yeah, I think that's 1, right?
When like Colby was chasing her in the tunnels and all that.
Yeah,
he's in the ladder. Okay,
yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like they didn't know who each other were until they started talking, right? Like he did not recognize that was his daughter. Like obviously she's using somebody's body, but he didn't recognize her right away, correct? Until she like made the comment about like you couldn't protect anyone or whatever.
In the tunnels? Yes. Before the bombs.
I feel like they did know each other.
No, because I don't think he knew, because I don't think he even saw her. Because Maria Hill was chasing, and then when they get into did she get shot?
That's way after.
No.
Or did she get beat up? No, she got beat up, right?
Maria Hill got beat up in the tunnel by Gaia.
So I think he was just like obviously around, but when that happened, then he started following her and then saw that it was her.
All right, maybe I have to go back and watch, but I got the impression that when he looked at her, he didn't he didn't know that was Gaia. Like he might have known it was a Skrull, obviously, because of like what they're doing, but I don't think he knew it was Gaia until she made like a comment, like a specific comment, and then he was like, "Oh," and then
that's something you got to rewatch, because I'm almost positive he shot at the ladder
to stop her. Then she came down, and then
if it was another Skrull, I think he would have maybe killed them.
No, maybe he doesn't want to kill any Skrulls.
Yeah, you're right.
So all right, at least that's the impression I got. So my question is just, if a Skrull runs into another Skrull, but they're both impersonating humans, do they know? Do they know?
No.
Okay, so then like, I feel like this could lead to so many issues on its own of just like, you're working for the same side, but you don't even know it because you're pretending to be a human.
Well, that also lends itself to like spies in general, like because I don't think, it's not like they have a scent or something.
Pheromones.
Well, not that we know of, but
okay.
I think he knew it was her. Because she wasn't even like shapeshifting.
I just rewatched the scene. Gaia knows who he is.
Yeah, but obviously because she's seen his form as that guy before. Yeah, I don't think he knew. Like, at least that's the impression I got. I guess it's not that big of a deal, though.
Yeah, he's given a.
I would assume, yeah.
Because
I
if
guess
he had
that's
never
something we
seen,
don't.
like, obviously he knows who Gaia is, but if he's never seen Gaia take the form of that specific human, like, how would he know?
It kind of made me like he knows because I doubt that she just started spying. Like, I'm sure she's been part of the organization and
Yeah.
like feeding him info, so he would already have known that
Okay.
how she looks. Maybe.
All right, okay.
Well, because they also make Fury makes a big deal about them, who they like decide to shapeshift into.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe she had already like picked someone they already knew. Well, because has Fury seen human? Yeah, she has.
Fury-
He has, right?
I don't know.
I am curious about the bomb thing because to me, that's what I got a little confused. Is she obviously gave them the info, but
it was wrong.
But she would have noticed her backpack's empty.
Yeah,
unless it's too
I
late.
kind of was
do
getting the
anything at
feeling
that
that she
point.
was misleading him on purpose there.
It felt like, yeah, I have to let this go
Yeah.
through because there's too many. Like,
I
And
think.
then-
Wait,
and then in
wasn't
there's
it
episode-
literally like 4 of us.
before the scene
Go ahead.
before they were talking about they're gonna have 3 bombs and some diversions and stuff. And I
Yeah,
can't.
and then he tells her that it's marked with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
but I can't
backpacks are
remember
marked,
if
the ones with bombs.
I feel like she was helping them, but she didn't know. Like
Which
there
one
was
was
2
that?
diversions. Like
yeah. She didn't
Gavik
know
had his
which one
own
was
plan.
the real.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was.
That's
taking
very
from.
possible as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
And then that goes into like probably Gravik
Yeah.
maybe doesn't trust her, so he's like, well, let me do this as a failsafe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
But-
Then I think we kind of got the big stuff that matters.
Heck yeah, we did.
I think I do like the guy that was pretending to be the Martin Freeman Skrull was talking to someone that went full conspiracy mode. I thought that was funny.
Agent Prescott was his name. And John, since you watch Game of Thrones, that was Beric Dondarrion.
Oh my!
I was gonna ask if that guy
I
was
didn't
from
even put
somewhere,
that
'cause he felt like he
together.
was-
Do you know the voice now, John?
Yeah, I didn't even like put the face
You-
to it.
Well,
I,
if he needed to borrow Fury's eye patch for you to be able to
He
make
needed
the
an eye
connection.
patch,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I liked Agent Prescott. He knew everything. he had it all figured out.
Do you think they're gonna drop a F-bomb?
They've got like a
Fury,
like a mother
Fury
effer.
needs one for sure.
Yeah, he's got to be like he's got one in his.
Yeah.
Do you think they're
contract
gonna drop a F-bomb to reveal the real Nick Fury drops F-bombs?
And the
And the other one
original
was a
one in
Skrull.
all the other MCU movies is a scroll.
Well, not all they only teased it
happen,
once
like,
when he was getting dusted, right?
yeah. Mother. And then
Yeah.
he disappeared, yeah.
I could see it happening on like a twist or something.
Yeah, when like something like changes and just like, like motherfucker.
When Gravik turns into a bunch of
No,
Furies,
I'm-
like he did in the museum scene.
Oh, when he turned into a bunch of Graviks.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool, but it was also like it was interesting because they still let him get like. I guess they didn't let him, but he still got stabbed.
All right, wait, guys. I'm pulling in. I'm making the connections of what we've been talking about. We've talked about multiple Furies. We've talked about defeating the bad guy. We've talked about Loki.
But not the multiverse.
In the What If series, Fury and Loki teamed up to take down. Was it Hank? I think it was Hank Pym.
Hank Pym.
So I mean,
Wait, what?
maybe we do have multiple Furies as Loki. Got Loki helping him out here.
Wait, huh?
Wait, what?
Oh, he's saying that because in What If Loki, in one episode Loki pretended to be Fury, so He's
I'm saying
that
there's your
Oh, did
second
he?
Fury
the
right there, your
show-
boy Loki.
Oh, is that in the evil Ant-Man one?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Where all the Avengers are dying.
Ah, yeah.
There we
I
go.
remember now.
We have come full circle. Loki. Secret invasion.
No. But overall, just a quick recap or my thoughts. I like where we've been. Obviously, I've been concerned with the Skrulls thing, but it doesn't really, to me at the moment, it hasn't detracted from the quality of the show. It's been actually, you might notice it because I don't notice things on the first watch most of the time. How's the pacing?
Good.
To me, like, well, just watching it, I feel like it's been good pacing, but I feel like you have a better eye for it because this
I think
is your
second
stuff.
episode's the best one. First episode's good. Third episode was kind of weirdly paced, in my opinion. Feels like that could be like
You
the
think it was 'cause,
low point of the show, but we have 3 more episodes.
You think it was because it was focused on 3 different people versus like 2?
I mean, you can
It
do
was
that.
going
And
from
pace
well,
it
actually, it was
fine,
a
but
lot more people.
It just had. I can't even remember what episode 3 was about right now. Oh yeah, they're all the top. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weirdly paced, not cut together quite perfectly. Kind of a lot of, I don't know, because a lot of it's had like your good mix of tense moments and action and dialogue and stuff. I feel like episode 3 had a lot of dialogue exposition dumping towards the middle. I think
Yeah,
that's it.
I do. And then when I looking back, it's I think the whole random, not random, but the submarine attack that they were gonna do
Oh, I forgot about
kind of
that.
ramped up all of a sudden. Because yeah, it was a slower episode, like you said, more dialogue, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, the action kicked in for like 5 minutes, and then it's kind of
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with dialogue, but it was just like, I don't know, felt like a lot.
a
Maybe
weird jump.
maybe could have cut some of that and write it into another episode or something. But can't.
Well, maybe not last thing, but if I go back to something I think Jacob said, where maybe she secretly, Gaia has the Super Skrull stuff in her. I think they have that like heavily monitored because when she got the call to get the codes, like whatever the security like saw that there was a call going in that was it an unsecured call they called it? So like I feel like they'd know if someone uses the machine and like it'd make a huge hard lockdown or whatever you want to call it.
I kind of agree, but there was also a scene where she was
Doing
just
some sneaky
standing in there spying on
Yep.
the scientists, and they had no idea she was in there.
But yeah, that's true. But the machine wasn't. Like I'm saying, like the machine would be on and then stuff would happen. But yeah, that's true.
And who says the machine's what is giving you the
who knows if
powers?
It definitely.
Or
is.
who says you need the machine for the extremist power? I mean, I feel like that one's something you can just inject. Maybe you have like some
could be
awesome
different ways
superior
to get
version,
the different powers.
yeah.
The different samples require different exposure methods.
Yeah, extremist could be an injection, and like Groot and all the other ones might need some X-ray
You
stuff.
think-
But
This is not maybe a theory, but well, I guess I don't know anything about Super Skrull, so maybe not. I was gonna say, could he copy Hulk's power? But like Hulk isn't really a power; he's kind of a.
I would imagine, because from what I got and what
Seems
they've established is
interesting.
you just need a DNA sample and some materials and stuff, and the doctor can replicate
Wait.
it.
Wait.
Oh wait, no.
Wait.
Never mind. It was the weird jock dude, or the.
Are you
Never
talking
mind,
about
never mind,
She-Hulk,
ignore.
the lame?
Yeah,
other lame
where
guy
they
who turned
wanted
into the
his
Hulk?
blood,
Yeah.
her blood. Yeah, never
I
mind. It was
mean,
that
they
one
could
guy.
still have part of that sample.
He could have been a Skrull too.
But maybe that's who Banner was warning her about. Is like, yeah, people want it, and like one of the people would be
The
Gravik.
Skrulls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And however, Harrison Ford gets turned into Red Hulk.
I think you mean Indiana Jones.
And there's the
turns-
whole
He gets the dial of destiny. That's how.
there's the whole people said before that damage control is like a Skrull unit and stuff. They're cleaning up after all this stuff to get all the samples.
I have seen that theory.
I haven't honestly.
That would
I
make
haven't looked
sense.
at anything,
That would make
so
a lot of
this is
sense.
news.
You know,
Yeah.
they take over damage control, so they get access to all these. You know, they get access to the battle wreckage before anyone else, and they can take certain things. So that would make sense.
That's actually one thing we didn't talk. I do like the parallel that, well, Talos' kind of whole idea of like, why are you making war? You're literally doing what caused us to become essentially extinct everywhere else. Is you're like playing into the fears of the native planet species, which is probably why the Kree don't like them, because maybe they tried taking over one time.
Are you talking about Talos versus Gravik?
Yeah, because Talos' whole thing is like, we don't want to go to war. We want to live in
He's
peace.
anti-war.
Because then you're playing into their fears, and this has already happened before. Kind of like what that one Skrull, I don't know what she was, senator, was saying. I don't know.
I do like
At this point.
really like how they're writing around like the parallels between I was gonna say Sam Jackson, Fury and Talos, like pretty much being the same exact person, struggling with the same exact issues and stuff. Bit different goals, but
just obviously, yeah, different goals or like methods to get to that.
yeah,
goal.
they like mirror it from one scene to another, and then also you kind of have Talos being parallel with Gravik. Well, that's way more extreme and controversial because there's way more differences between them, but it's interesting. And that apology scene was strong too.
Yeah. No. Any last thoughts?
Loki sucks.
I think I'm good.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. No. Well. We'll. I'm not gonna say anything.
I'll say something. Hey, Jacob.
What?
Question for you.
Hi. All right, let's hear it.
Have you seen Avatar: The Way of the Water?
I have not.
You have not.
Nope.
Well, that sounds like a one more person to add to the watch party, so we can do a Way of Water podcast.
We still gotta do John Wick 4.
You still have to do
I would be
stuff.
down to talk about both of those.
I was hoping you'd say yes, so I can get John on
I haven't
the
seen
watch
it.
party. But
We'll talk about this after. All right. So, all right, we're gonna wrap it up here. That'll be our discussion.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
/
everyone.
review. Yep, on Secret Invasion. Leave comments if you agree with us, disagree with us, what your theories are. Also, any suggestions of what we should record next. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks, guys, again for joining. Co-host Kyler and co-host Jacob.
Adios.
And that'll be it. Later.
adios.